I talk to the trees and they never listen to me.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Man About Town, May 14th version of it. We are a production of 321 Media, and we are broadcasting from beautiful downtown Westerly, streaming worldwide, and we're on a whole bunch of platforms. You will not see DJ Gadget sitting in the producer seat today.
Because she's fired. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, don't say that. Of course, that's the guy that owns the place. That's Ben Barber. He is sitting in for her today. As she has mentioned, she owns a business up in Hartford, and apparently she's hiring a new manager today and was required to be up there. So she and our co-producer, Roxy the Radio Dog, is up there as well. Normally, when Roxy's not here, I say that she's on location with Lester Holt, but no, she's on location today with DJ Gadget. So we have Ben Barber, and we'll have a small village in here shortly at 3:00. These people represent the Southern Rhode Island Volunteers. They're based in beautiful Ninigret Park in Charlestown. And Lindsay Bush, who runs the joint, isn't here yet. She is, her title, Deb, is Executive Director?
Correct.
Okay. Deb Tanner used to be Executive Director. She got kicked to the curb like DJ Gadget, right?
No,
she got
DJ
kicked to the
can come
curb.
back. If DJ wants to come back and take this, she can at any point.
Deb, do you have a title now other than Lindsay's mom?
Yeah, I do the director, development director kind of functions, like grant
But you've been
writing,
there
so
since day one, haven't
I've
you?
been there since the year 2000. There were two previous executive directors
Oh, there
before
were?
me. Lindsay's only the fourth in the history.
I thought they built the place around you, honest to God.
Oh my God.
You know,
No.
came with the... Wow.
I am the longest serving executive director up till Lindsay, but we'll see what she does.
25 years. Pretty good.
Just about.
A quarter of a century.
Yeah, that's scary when we start talking in those terms. You know, I'll talk to somebody about something and I'll say, yeah, that was about 25 or 30 years ago. And I think, oh, does that make me sound old?
I know.
And then we go even more than that.
Yes, we did.
And then we have somebody new. I was told Jessen is coming. We didn't know if Jessen was male or female. If it was first name, last name. I heard you say your last name is Nichols.
Yes.
Jessen
correct, yeah.
Nichols. You are the new AmeriCorps program director.
Yes.
That's what Deb said.
Yeah, just a couple of weeks now.
Pardon me?
Just a couple of weeks now.
Have you been, however, with Southern Rhode Island Volunteers previously?
Prior to that, I had been volunteering for just a couple of months. So my relationship is relatively new overall, but very fortuitous to meet Deb and Lindsay and be able to join the team.
That's great. Well, they are quite a team.
Yeah,
they really
they
are. We've had them on the air. I don't know the last time you were here, a couple of years at least.
Yeah, Lindsay's come the last few times.
Yeah. Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
And and always it has gotten better and better and better. It's quite the organization. For those people who don't know who you are, tell us who you are. And I don't care which one of us, if you want to go first, and then you can talk about AmeriCorps, however you want to do it. But today's program, actually, the entire 2 hours is about volunteerism, because as it turns out, and it just worked out this way, our next guest is Sue Ogle from the Village Common of Rhode Island, the Westerly Village. Okay. And you do different things. I know that. You do similar and different things. Have a seat. In has come the executive director, Lindsay Bush. Welcome.
As always. Thank you.
And I know you know my producer down there, Ben Barber.
I do know Ben.
Who also is the owner of the whole shooting match 321.
Awesome.
before we get to Southern Rhode Island volunteers, you came at the right time. For those people that are Westerly people and get the Westerly Sun newspaper, 321 Media is proudly mentioned on the front page today. Ben is holding it up to the camera.
But let's not bury the lead there.
Well,
which
no, I
is-
wasn't about to.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I
It
just
is
want to
about
say,
ocean.
yeah, I just want to say congratulations to a wonderful member of the 321 family, Ocean Lombard, who's the host of Ride the Wave. She is our youngest host here. She's 16 years old. She is dedicated to sustainable fashion and teaching other people how to create beautiful, simple, affordable, and sustainable wardrobes. She created what accent was that about to come out? She created the Bulldog Boutique at Westerly High School, which is now that it should be up and running soon. It is a little boutique literally inside of Westerly High School where there have been donations from thrift shops and people and all sorts of donors all over of formal attire. And so kids that, maybe not able to afford prom dresses or tuxes or something like that can go in there, and everything in there is
Which are
free.
ridiculous.
So,
Yeah.
The price of prom dresses now.
Yeah.
It's like buying a wedding gown.
I know,
At
especially
any rate,
dresses.
we
You
really
can find
should
some-
be talking
you can
about
find some affordable
Southern
stuff at
Rhode
Toscano's.
Island volunteers. I'm not going to throw it in your lap. I threw it in Deb's lap to
Thank you.
begin. We'll give you a chance to take
I appreciate
a couple of
that.
breaths. Tell people who don't know what the Southern Rhode Island volunteers are all about, what you're all about.
Well, we're about community, so kudos to Ocean for becoming, Miss Rhode Island Teen. Congratulations and on her work. But we've been in existence since 1981. The organization started with a AmeriCorps Vista, which is a volunteer kind of position. Was the thesis paper of a URI grad student around how there could be peer-to-peer support. So older citizens had skill sets that other older citizens might need some help with different things. So we had the Vista, then we had my predecessor, and then I came along, and we've brought SRIV from a couple hundred volunteers then to around 400 or so now. We kind of brought forward the organization from when I walked in the door. There was a Macintosh computer and there was a PC. They did different things. They didn't talk to each other. There was no internet.
They still don't.
No, yeah.
I've learned
No-
that.
No email. So there wasn't a great outreach. It was truly like a little grassroots mom and pop kind of in the town, in South Kingstown kind of thing. We now serve the southern third of the state of Rhode Island. That's 12 of Rhode Island's 39 communities. Our volunteers predominantly provide services that are all about healthy futures, helping an older population. But we have volunteers from 13 years of age and older.
13 years of age volunteer?
Yeah.
What wonderful training. Start them young. What
Right.
does he or she do?
So the students who are 13 to 17, opportunities for younger folks are kind of limited. So they can volunteer in our office, or they can volunteer doing the really fun things in the summer, like Atlantis Rising, the Seafood Festival, Washington County Fair. There's an event called the Duffel Bag Bash, which supports teens who are in they're kind of like in the programs with Adoption RI, and they're going from place to place until
I
they
know what
either
that
get
is.
adopted out or they age out of the system. So that's a one-day event that helps with that down here. On occasion, there's some things like if it's wintertime, we're always looking for those young, strapping, healthy kids to do shoveling of snow for the walkways for the senior homes. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fantastic because you're starting early. You're building that culture of service, which is great.
And every life should be like that.
So, how did you find this guy? Was he just like at the planetarium in the park, or walking by the door and you went, "Psst, come here"?
I believe Lindsay and I would like to say that, whoa, we found him. We did not.
He found you.
Thankfully
He found
found
us.
us. And he and Lindsay will be the future going forward, because I'll become just a volunteer in, a little less than a
No
year.
such thing as just a volunteer. That's
True,
that's the
but-
most. That is the most important person.
She's also
in
been
the
saying that she's
organization.
retiring for the last, I don't know.
Yeah, I
10
know.
years
We went
almost.
through that.
I know. I like that when you reached out to us, you said retired.
Yes,
Well,
exactly.
you when you're passionate about something, you want to know that the right people are there to lead the organization forward. I believe that Lindsay and Jessen are those people.
Well, all right. Let's hear from Jessen.
Yeah.
How did you find them, or why did you find them?
Yeah. Well, by chance, I had been looking for volunteer opportunities, and I called SRIV. I got interviewed, background check, all that good stuff. Fortunately, it came back clean. And
Made sure you weren't an
yeah.
axe murderer.
Right.
Okay.
exactly,
Did a
exactly.
really good job of hiding it.
And so a couple of months volunteering, and then I got laid off from work at a job that I had, and so that allowed me the opportunity to spend some time in the office, to volunteer in different ways. And as luck would have it, a position was opening, and I seemed to be a good fit, and I felt very good in the office already, because Deb and Lindsay were so welcoming.
I don't know if
So-
Ben is hearing what I'm hearing, but if you're looking for even another opportunity, what a great voice you have for broadcast.
Thanks.
Right?
Somebody
Am I
else
right?
said something about his voice
Yeah.
today.
Excellent voice.
It was puberty
Watch
that took care of that.
Reverse puberty. So you said you've only been with them a few weeks.
Yeah, as a matter of
Right.
fact, yeah, it's just 3 now.
So explain to me, or explain to our vast audience of 330,000 a month, as it says in the newspaper,
Incredible.
and we do.
Congratulations.
Huge audience. Please explain to us what AmeriCorps is. I know we did this before we actually went on the air, but you're the AmeriCorps program director. So explain that piece of the puzzle.
Well, I help coordinate transportation requests from our clients, and so it's working with taking the client requests and then working with the volunteers who are notified daily of the opportunities that we have, and they select them. So I help connect the clients with the volunteers.
If you don't mind, I'd like to take that one too.
Sure.
I'm
So-
new, so Lindsay will take
Yeah.
it.
So Jessen has only had a very limited amount of training as far as the AmeriCorps program goes. The AmeriCorps program is called Retired Senior Volunteer Program, RSVP. So it's anybody who's 55 and older who's volunteering with us. And it is a part of AmeriCorps. So AmeriCorps has 2 sides. It has the one side that everybody knows about with the NCCC, and then when people go out for disasters and all of that, and then the other side is seniors. So it's our program, RSVP, senior companions, and foster grandparents.
I don't know how much people know about that, if they're that familiar with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people are familiar with when there's a disaster and going out,
Right.
but as far as the other part being seniors.
Yeah. So we've had the program for almost 30 years now. Almost 40 years.
40 years. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude. Yeah. 40 years.
Yeah. So it really is just anybody volunteering who's 55 and older. And then AmeriCorps has specific goals that they try to reach. So like for us, our goals along with AmeriCorps are healthy futures and aging in place. So that's all about transportation, rides to doctors and grocery stores, delivery of groceries, companionship for those people who are more isolated than others,
Meals on Wheels, which is probably the most well-known.
Yeah.
national
Yes,
program.
that's extremely well known.
Yeah. And then our counterparts, the foster grandparent and senior companion, those are same 55
Foster
and older.
grandparent is too, I
Yep.
think, well known.
Yeah. So foster grandparent, they usually work within schools and everything. And then senior companion is almost the same thing as foster grandparent, except the person that you're working with is going to be your age or older.
So how do people become clients of yours? Is this open to anybody in the, you said 12 towns,
There are
right?
12
Mhm.
communities in Rhode Island. They have to be 60 years of age or older to receive services from Southern Rhode Island Volunteers, or if they are 55 years of age to 59 years of age and they have a documented disability from a medical doctor, then we can
Ah.
provide them transportation assistance.
Is
and that
this
kind of stuff.
income based or do they pay a fee? How does it work exactly?
There's a donation schedule for folks. If you are living at poverty level, you can't afford to pay for services, or you're barely getting by trying to pay your bills and get food. So the services are free of charge. But if you are a person who has an income, then you're asked to donate to support the services for those seniors who cannot. So it runs the gambit. We have seniors who do not provide any donation. They just can't. And then we have other seniors who will donate, hundreds of dollars a year to make sure that the ones who can't are taken care of as well. And the folks that we're helping are, they're getting transportation to not only, medical appointments. Like people, when you say that, people say, oh yeah, I got to go to my doctor. We're talking about cardiologists, urologists, cancer doctors, treatment for physical
Right.
therapy, surgery. We don't take you home from surgery, but we'll drop you off. But if you're having an anesthetic, you've got to have a family member who's responsible for you. You might be going to the grocery store or the food pantry, or we're picking up the food at the food pantry for you, or we're doing the online grocery shopping for you. Because unfortunately, everybody thinks, oh, technology is so wonderful. Well, I'm going to be 68. Technology is not wonderful. That is not true. It's
you
like,
and I really need to go have a drink together. we're definitely on the same plane
The
here.
thoughts and opinions of this broadcast do not necessarily reflect 321 Media or its advertisers.
sorry, Ben. Everybody's got different ability
Yes,
levels.
different
you know?
levels.
I mean, my husband carries a flip phone, okay? Like everybody's like talking about iPhones and stuff, but
Chris DiPaolo made me give up my flip phone. He dragged
that.
me over to the phone store, and yeah. So I get it. I definitely get it.
So it's very individualized. There is if you were to be at a talk where Maria Samini was there, she is the director of the Office of Healthy Aging. She would tell you, if you've met one older person, you've met one older person. Because
So you're saying
everybody's
they're all alike.
they're
No,
all different.
They're all different.
They're all
Yeah.
different.
Oh,
If you meet
okay.
one, you
Everybody's
only
a-
meet one.
Got it.
It's the opposite of if you met one, you met them all.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes,
Opposite of that.
exactly.
Everybody's needs are unique.
that's
and
true.
Jessen and I spend, quite a bit of time not only getting Ben, you're like, what's going
I
on?
don't
over
know.
there?
He's playing
Doing his
with
thing.
all his technology.
He's always fun to be with.
I have been sitting in this chair since 7:45 this morning.
Oh goodness.
I'm just like,
They
what do
don't
I
care.
need to do before I'm like, what do I need to make sure is like, yeah, I'm just, don't worry. By the way, no one can hear that little like the little, or when the headphone thing dropped, no one can hear. They can only hear what's an inch away from your mouth.
Oh,
So-
good. I was so
You're-
worried about. I could hear my phone vibrating. I
No,
thought it
you're
was good.
totally fine. You're
Okay.
totally fine.
But see, this is very good that we're here. We could help out Ben
Yes.
as he gets ready to leave for the day, which
Who's-
is what we do.
Who's the 30-some-year-old technology guy? Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
okay. He could maybe help us.
And if
out
you've
with
met
some of that.
one older person, well, not you, but yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, so it is very individualized. So it does.
So
take-
let me understand something. People are out there listening. people in your, and I'm going to ask you to mention your 12 areas if you can.
Mhm.
I don't know if it goes from like East Greenwich on down with all of them or what,
Yep.
Yeah.
but see, I do remember
There you
something.
go.
But if somebody is interested in you
Mhm.
and says, I want to find out, I think I might have a need, is this something where they would have to pay monthly, like a membership, or do they pay as they use the service? If they
No.
say, I only see my cardiologist twice a year, every 6 months, is that when they pay?
Depends
Or
on
do
the
they
person.
have to pay to be a member?
They donate based on what they think they can do and want to do and how valuable the service is for you. There is no fee. You do not have to, there's no membership fee.
Ah,
But some people will call it a membership fee because it's easier. Like, you get older and it's, well, what's my membership fee? Because it's
Yeah.
easier for us to, okay, I got to add this to my bills. And, like what I donate to my church, it's like, okay, what do I have to pay? I don't have to pay anything, but I make a donation. So that's what it is. And it's based entirely upon their need, their desire to support the services, what they'd like to do. Part of aging is to be, have dignity as you age, to have choice as you age. And if you're donating and we're talking about finances, we all need to have choice. We all need to have dignity. We all need to feel like we can ask for a helping hand without we're a burden. And that's what Jessen and I do each day. And Lindsay keeps the doors open and everything running so that we can be those people that, help
so
those
if
seniors.
I were to call and I know nothing about you and you're going to ask me to come in and I'm going to sit with Jessen or I'm going to sit with you and you're going to find out what my needs are and I'm going to find out what you offer. Is that correct?
You don't even have to come in. Jessen's going to dispatch someone to come to your home
Really?
and make it easy.
A volunteer will do
Mhm.
that.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. The volunteer will come
That's
see
great.
you. Yeah. Because not everybody can get there and everybody's physical limitations are different. And
transportation
Right.
limits.
Yeah.
It also
and-
helps us see the living conditions too. It helps
Yeah.
us better understand the client's needs.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Did you always do that? Dispatch people to the houses? I don't
We've not
remember
always
that.
been able to do that, no. But now we have a couple of volunteers who can do it. And with Jessen in the office and Lindsay and me, we have the ability to actually provide a more in-depth, comprehensive level of support for people. And we're all very passionate about that. It's like when we leave at the end of the day, if we haven't been able to help someone, the two of us are looking at each other and we're looking at Lindsay and we're like, we didn't get that ride yet, because it's,
But you solve every problem, don't you, eventually?
we try because
Try to
it's
solve
like,
as many as we can.
yeah, because we all recognize that for 90% of those seniors, they're home, but they're alone. They might have a cat, they might have a dog they're talking to, but they don't
Would they
necessarily
like
have
another
a person.
cat?
Sorry.
Sorry. I have a
giving one
cat. Oh, yeah, I got Greenberg. Anyway,
Yeah.
tell us the 12 communities. Is this like a test? Do you remember the 12?
She always
This
remembers.
could be a
Yeah.
test. So, well,
You
I
got to
always
go
go
from
to the
top
first
to
one.
bottom or bottom
No,
to top.
I do I'm a Charahoe grad, so it's Charlestown, Richmond, Hopkinton, Westerly. Then it's Exeter, South Kingstown, North Kingstown, Jamestown, East and West Greenwich, Block Island. But no, we don't get to go to the island, unfortunately. She won't let us go over there. We have to have them come up with us. Did I
Okay.
miss any?
Narragansett, I think.
I did. I'm
I
sorry.
was like, there's one more.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Narragansett.
So you don't get into Newport. Jamestown is
No.
where it ends.
Right.
Mhm.
That bridge. One
Right.
One
bridge.
bridge is enough. The other one is one bridge too many.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah,
There
absolutely.
are limits.
We are from South County. We do the whole, duffel bag, lunchbox, lantern.
Yes, sleep overnight.
Yep.
Right. But I think that's true. And you said you have 400 volunteers now?
Yeah.
Just about. Yep. And that's active volunteers. That's not like we have 400 and 100 of them are active and the rest of them, do it once in a while. That's for the most part all active volunteers regularly during the week.
That's terrific. It really is. So when you and Jessen leave for the night and you haven't solved that one, do you go home and start calling some of these people saying, are you able to do this? Are you, is that the way it works?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes we'll get on the computer because we can remote in, and we'll try to, depends on, is it a critical need? Is it something that fell apart for tomorrow on the person? So it really kind of depends, because you've got to take time off too, because some of the stories we hear are difficult to hear.
There must be.
People are frightened. People are worried about if their needs are going to be taken care of. So it can be emotionally draining. So you have to take the time to, recharge the battery to go back and face helping people again.
When you go to the house, do you find that very often, if the person is living alone or living with the cat or the dog, that they'll have their son, their daughter, somebody there because they want to now check you out? Who are you? You're coming in to see my mom.
No.
No.
The point is they don't have support.
That's really sad.
Yes.
So they don't even want to check you out.
No. There's about 1% of the seniors who actually have sons or daughters, nieces, nephews, siblings, someone who's interacting in their life for them. 99% of them truly are alone.
Having worked with people who deal professionally with cognitive impairment, they say that living alone and not having any social orientation can lead and push you right into that.
Yeah.
They need to get out and have that. Do you have social activities where you invite people that are able to come?
We don't have
clients.
We don't do like a scheduled kind of thing. I know like the Village Commons will do get-togethers and stuff. But all of the dollars that come into SRIV are donated dollars. They're donor dollars, taxpayer dollars. So we don't host, dinner parties, or that kind of thing. But we do have volunteers. Like yesterday, we had a volunteer who took a elderly lady who, and when I say elderly, I mean, for me, there's a difference between an older person and an elderly person. An elderly person means they're
shut up, Ed.
Like elderly for me is they're struggling to get around. They're struggling to even, go from the door to the car kind of thing. It's like they really need that extra helping hand. And this woman took this client to the beach for a ride to the beach because she needed to get out of the house. And she needed to have a moment because she's alone. She's going through some health issues. And our volunteers do that all the time. We've been known to do that. Jessen today spoke with a woman on the phone who she needed to have a conversation. And her conversation,
how many hours, Jessen?
It was about
It was nice.
water guns. It was hysterical.
Water guns?
Yeah, like the super soakers.
The super soaker things.
Mhm.
But again, she's got some pretty serious health concerns. She's alone, and that was the topic.
Wants to mess with her neighbors.
That's the topic she needed to talk about. So Jessen fielded that quite nicely, quite professionally, even though it could have been disastrous.
No, it was a very funny and pleasant conversation. Right.
So let me get this straight. Are you looking for both volunteers and clients? If there are people listening who say, what a lively bunch of people these guys are, and they're doing some great stuff. I have some time. I'd like to volunteer. Are you looking to vet volunteers as much as you are looking for people who need their services?
Oh yeah.
So
Always.
they can. What's the best way? And then I'm going to ask Ben if we need to go to break. And he says yes. We'll do this quickly and then we'll come back. What's the best way for them to find you? Online, on the phone? Not everybody can go online.
Above. There's a website, southernrivol.org. It will show you email addresses and how to contact us. There's a phone number, 401-552-7661. We're there Monday through Friday, 9 to 4.
Okay. Very good. We're going to take a short break and pay some bills so that Ben can pay his parking tickets. And we will be back shortly. This is Man About Town coming to you from 321 Media. We'll be right back.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners at 224 Post Road, and everybody down here is getting the brand new iPhone 16. We have it here in stock. The best part is right now, if you trade in your old phone, you get it for free. We got deals all weekend, awesome savings. Come on down and see us, 224 Post Road, Dunn's Corners, Verizon Wireless Zone. We'll see you soon.
D&V Mechanical specializes in the installation, maintenance, and servicing of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split heat pump systems. We are certified by Mitsubishi as Diamond Elite Contractors and factory trained and up to date on the proper procedure of the installation and service of Mitsubishi ductless heating and air conditioning ductless heat pumps. We assist with the paperwork to reduce much of the stress-related documentation required to get the state rebates and federal tax incentives. We are not a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-nothing company. We are masters of ductless heat pumps. It's what we do, and it's what we know.
Wood River Health is my home for health.
Wood River Health is a one-stop shop for primary medical care, dental care, behavioral health, and social services. We care for the members of our community because they are our community. I'm Allison Crow, President and CEO of Wood River Health. Since 1976, our health center has provided high-quality, affordable health care to residents of Rhode Island and southeastern Connecticut. We are your neighborhood health center. Let us be your home for health.
Join the Knickerbocker All-Stars on Friday, May 23rd at 8 p.m. at the Knickerbocker Music Center. Dance the night away to songs you love and some of the greatest music ever made. Get your tickets now at nickmusic.com.
I'm in love with you, baby. But your mother's got to move.
Are you looking for a fresh cut in Westerly? Step into Rio's Barber Shop in Granite Plaza. Whether it's a classic trim or a trendy new look, we've got you covered. Experience the perfect cut for every age and style in a friendly and relaxed atmosphere. At Rio's, it's not just a haircut, it's an experience. Visit Rio's Barber Shop in the Granite Plaza in Westerly or give us a call to schedule your appointment at 401-315-2208. Your style, our craft, Rio's Barber Shop.
Hi, I'm Chris Kozłowski, owner of Broadview Florist and Garden Center in Dunn's Corners. For over 40 years, our family-owned business has been your go-to destination for beautiful, custom-made floral arrangements. Whether it's a special event or just to brighten up your day, we create highest quality designs tailored just for you. Trust Broadview Florists to make every moment unforgettable. Visit us today or give us a call at 401-322-0390.
We are back here at Man About Town. And before we get back to the folks from Southern Rhode Island Volunteers, when you mentioned Sean Lacey and the town and the program, it made me think of its host, who is Betty Cugini. Betty Joe Cugini. Her mother, however, Betty Cugini, today is her birthday. She is 95 years old.
That's
Happy
awesome.
So,
birthday.
if you see her around or want to give her a call, she is extremely active. I know when the Girl Scouts were here, she's on their board. She's their oldest Girl Scout. She still goes to meetings and sells cookies. But Betty Cugini, 95 years old and living right on the Watch Hill Road.
Happy birthday.
So yes, happy birthday. Now we can all think a lot younger. We can get back to the Southern Rhode Island Volunteers. Again, I always think of people who are in their cars when you rattle off a phone number quickly. And yet I know there are older people that don't have computers. So again, if you could give the number or tell them they can use, if they go on your website, there's everything on there. I know that.
Correct.
But they got to get on the website. I don't know if they get to the library or what to use a computer or know how.
To be fair, everybody listening to or watching this program right now definitely can get on the internet, because otherwise they are not, unless someone has burned this as a DVD for them and put it in their DVD player at their home. They are on the internet right now. So they may not be the elderly person that needs the help, but if they have a neighbor or somebody that they know, that's true. Rona cannot access her own show.
Right. Right. No, I have. I can access it on YouTube very easily. I have a problem accessing Monday at 10 o'clock, getting that when it's on live. I don't know why, but I do. That's the show from the Granite Theater. We have so many different shows. It's wonderful. It really is. 321 Media. It's very cool. Okay, so getting back to Southern Rhode Island Volunteers. You need volunteers?
Yep.
And you're not cutting off and saying, we have too many clients, we can't take you. You can always take someone.
I can't tell somebody they don't have a need if they're telling me they have the need.
What a great way to put it. That really is. That is excellent. What are the questions that people typically ask when they're brand new? Are they a little nervous? Are they afraid to ask for help? What are you hearing? And then tell me what kinds of answers you're giving.
Depends on whether if they're a volunteer or a client. If they're a volunteer, is there insurance to cover me in case something happens?
Well, yeah, if you're putting someone in your car.
Correct.
Or is it flexible?
Yes, there is. Is there mileage reimbursement? Is it tax deductible what I do with my time or my mileage?
All right, answer those things.
So yes, you can take your mileage off of your taxes, but you cannot take your mileage off of your taxes and ask for reimbursement too. That's double dipping, and the federal government does not allow that, one or the other. Your time is extremely important to let any entity where you are volunteering know how many hours you're volunteering, because that shows the rest of the community and the world, however your reach goes, how important what you're doing is.
I'll bet one of the questions is, do I have to work every week, or do I have to give so many hours every week?
Oh my gosh, you're a mind reader, Rona. It's flexibility. That's what it was. So it depends on the individual. We do not use a model where, okay, you're going to volunteer and you have to volunteer every Monday from 1 to 2. That is not a realistic expectation in life today. You're a volunteer. And yes, I have time to give back and I want to give back, but I want flexibility. And that's what our model is. So we have a system where Jessen and I reach out to the volunteers for the transports, for instance. We send out an email that is coded so that nobody sees anybody else's information. And it goes out to everybody that is willing to drive. And then they respond when they're available. And they get assigned that way. So nobody's sitting around on call or, I have to wait all day because, oh, gee, it's a nice sunny day and I'm going to go out. So I don't have to sit here and wait. So it's very flexible. And I think that's why it works, because nobody, it's not a job. They're
Right.
volunteering. A job is what you have to go to. You have to be there from X time to X time. You get in a paycheck, there's an expectation. A volunteer opportunity is about flexibility for you and meaning for you. It's not just about the meaning in the person who needs, it's about the meaning in the volunteer's life too. You got to be doing something that catches you in your heart.
Well, also volunteers today, if they're seniors themselves, are in really good shape.
Yes.
Better shape than their predecessors. You know, maybe
it's that pickleball.
Yeah, but that's what sends you to the orthoped. But yeah, I mean, people are in good health and they say, okay, I retired from my job. I'm not going to sit home and watch soap operas or Oprah or Judge Judy or whatever people do. I want to get out. I want to do something, which is great. It's a great culture. I know you're about to say something when you pick that mic up.
I was going to make a dumb joke and I decided to put it back down. And then I was like, and what I was going to say is they're canceling all of the good soap operas. And that's why people have to go out and volunteer now because they don't have anything else to do. So, you know, really, you can thank NBC and CBS and ABC for canceling all the good
You know,
soaps.
you were right. That is a dumb comment.
It was a dumb comment. That's why I went to put the microphone back down, Rona. Don't entice me to say
why
something.
We have such a good time, man, about that.
Don't entice me to say, you know what, though? Still less off track than DJ Gadget would be.
We've got about 15 minutes left. This goes fast. It goes real fast. What would you like people to know that maybe we haven't touched on? I again, you cannot mention enough your website and your web address and your phone number, because I want people to remember the name and know it, gee, I didn't quite get that. I didn't get a chance to hear that answer.
Right.
I want them to call. So you are looking for everybody who wants your services to give or to get.
I would like people to know, after being here 25 years, that you don't give that kind of time of your life to something that's not worthwhile. This agency is absolutely amazing. It is a community gem. It is necessary for people to live whole and healthy lives with choice and dignity until we pass out of this world. I can't stop myself or anyone else from dying. I am not God, but I can make sure with Jessen, with Lindsay, with all of our volunteers, that people get to age with dignity and with flexibility and with having their needs met. And for the volunteers, with feeling that sense of community and, wow, I did something that made a difference. Whether anybody else in the world ever knows doesn't matter. What matters is So that's what I'd like to see people get out of being engaged with SRIV. And I would love to see volunteers coming through the door by the hundreds, telling Jessen and Lindsay that they want to be part of their team going forward. And I'd love to see the seniors.
You say it so well. You really do. Is this the whole staff?
Yes, this is it.
I'm looking at it, right?
Yeah.
That's great.
We have a great comment here from someone named John Henry.
Oh God.
And it says, "That's my wife."
Yeah, that's my husband. That's why he's on his way home from the police unity tour in DC. He's been texting me and asking how he can get the video.
Aw.
Well,
thank you for your service.
Hi, babe.
Hi, babe. What's for dinner tonight? Is he going to make dinner since you're working?
No, he's been driving all day.
Oh, so
he's a police officer on the police unity tour, so he doesn't even get home until tomorrow.
He drives the motorcycle. No, he's coming home tonight.
He gets home tonight.
Wow.
Okay.
So he
Thank
gives
goodness.
as well.
Yes.
You have you have kids, right?
2.
How old are the kids?
6 and 9.
Are you bringing them up in a culture of volunteerism and giving?
Oh, of course.
Good. Dragging them in and saying you're going to do this and
Oh
do
yeah.
that.
My grandparents would haunt me if I didn't.
Yeah.
But no, of course. And our boys are, I mean, of course I'm partial. They are absolutely amazing. They have some of the biggest hearts I've ever seen, and they truly care about, how other people feel with whatever they're doing. So they're really in touch with, making sure that they're doing good things in the world.
As somebody who's been a Rotarian for 30
Yes.
some years, I can tell you I've seen where Rotarians would bring their kids or their grandkids to an event and say, here, you can do this. And little kids love
Yeah.
volunteering and doing that. And now some of these little kids are in their 30s and 40s, and now they've become Rotarians or they have carried it through.
Service above self.
Service above self. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, or the Lions, We Serve, any of these groups. It's wonderful to do that. We're giving back. We are paying our rent for being on this planet.
Right.
Ooh,
And
I like
communities,
that.
yeah.
That's beautiful, Rona.
Community's
that
not
was-
great
that was
unless
really
you're
nice.
engaged.
I
Wow.
didn't thank you, but I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
Community is not great unless you are engaged.
Mhm.
If you're not engaged, you're not helping to make your community great. It's
There you
where you live.
I had a 7th grade geography and homeroom teacher who actually became a second mother to me after my mother died. And she'd say things that would make 7th graders roll their eyeballs like, oh God,
Yes.
this old lady's saying this again. But one thing that she said, and she said it forever, was life is a privilege and we must all pay and pay and pay for that privilege. And
Yes.
she was right.
One of our volunteers at Southern Rhode Island Volunteers is my high school physiology teacher from Charahoe High School. Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
he's also a graduate. Would he know that person?
I don't know. Do you know Cassandra Crandall? Might be well before your
Yeah,
time.
yeah, I know yeah.
Yeah. So see, I mean, those people, they don't realize the impact they have on your life.
That's right.
Because they're there to teach you and do things and stuff. And, while they get a paycheck to teach, they also do other things that touch your lives. You know what I mean? So it's like.
All right, we're going to
kudos
get real personal now. Jessen, are you from this area originally?
Originally Buffalo, New York, but
I'm from Syracuse. We can
Okay.
talk later. We had the snow, you had the winds. Oh,
my family moved here when I was 9, so
yeah.
essentially.
Okay. All right. I was going to say you don't have an accent. Which is a good
Yeah, that I like.
Absolutely. I don't know what you did when you were working for real pay and all that, but did it prepare you for this? No, I say real pay because I know that volunteer organizations, even the ones that you get a salary from,
Right.
are never like being out in the world making
Right.
6 figures.
Right.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely compensatory value in doing this type of work. I think the large portion of my career has been either project or personnel management for corporations, and I've felt that I've spent the majority of my life making rich people richer. So when this opportunity happened to come before me, the money was not an issue. It was being able to join a great team to do something that's, well, as they've set up more elegantly than I have, it's a great thing to do.
Yeah. Well, you are all like-minded, no matter how you put it. And I am sure that you have no problem relating to the people you speak with. Now, have you gone to some of the homes, or you just send a volunteer?
Right
to
now,
the
I'm
homes?
assigning volunteers, but doing intakes will be part of my training.
But he did start out doing transportation, so
Yes.
he has been to some homes.
That's right. I forgot my previous life. Yeah.
So you were volunteering before
Yeah.
you actually got the job.
Yes, and that's what allowed me to volunteer in the office when my schedule freed up, and so I could volunteer in multiple ways, and so that was fortuitous.
He's very humble. He
Yes.
was requested multiple times once he had given a ride to a to a client or something. He's very kind. He's very caring.
Do you
He's
give
very
candy to
empathetic.
people in your car?
I don't. I'm not an Uber. No.
Damn.
He's a very good listener.
Yes.
Okay, so in about 7 or 8 minutes, what else would you want people to know?
Remember the phone number.
which is
401
555.
552 7661. And for the people watching, Southern Rhode Island Volunteers, southernrivol.org. Go to the website, please.
Now, if they don't remember Southern Rhode Island, Southern RI Vol, if they just typed in Southern
Google
Rhode
it.
Island Volunteers,
Just
Googled it,
Google it.
they'll get more
They'll
than they
see
want.
us. Yeah.
If you Google volunteer opportunities in South Kingstown, Westerly, South County, Washington County, we're almost always at the top.
Yeah, and we're in all those communities that you mentioned, right,
Yep,
Ben?
of course. And also, if you really can't get a hold of them, just message me, and I'll put you through.
Thanks,
Thank
Ben.
you.
Of course. Are you kidding me? Rona, every time you mention the Rotary, and I never usually say it because I don't, in mixed company, but
Oh, dear.
every time you mention the Rotary, I just get a craving for strawberry shortcake.
You and me both.
Oh,
That's Terre Haute Rotary.
I know it's
I'm in
Terre Haute.
Westerly.
I know it's Terre Haute,
it's
but
so
I'm just saying, every time you
That's
say
the
the word
Washington County
Rotary,
Fair.
every time you say the word Rotary, I'm like, strawberry shortake.
Mhm.
Could you ask them if they bring back the peach shortcake too, though?
Did they used to do peach?
They had
Yeah.
peach shortcake for a little while. I loved it.
I'll
Okay.
mention it to
All
my
right.
buddies there, Larry Dunn and Ed Smith and people like that. I will
Oh, we love Ed.
definitely.
He's good to us.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Now, you guys are in the. I know that this is a side thing here, but the Grange, right? That's
I
where
am, yeah.
that's where
Lindsay is,
you.
yes.
Okay, where do I see you all the time then?
Same place.
In the same place.
Oh,
Because I
okay.
volunteer.
Right,
Yeah.
because you volunteer.
So
yes.
our organization does the windows at the Pomona Kitchen,
Mhm.
but I am
Okay.
a Grange member.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. My main interaction with Deb over the summer every year is her going, where's your meal ticket? And me going, can I just pay for this? And her going, no, you're not paying for it. You're staff. And I'm like, I just let me pay for it. I don't my car, I'm not going to go to my car and get the meal ticket. And she's like, well, first of all, you know, if the Washington County Fair gave out parking tickets, which they probably do, I would get one because my parking space is literally right next to the entrance. I have the best parking space in the entire fair. Can't complain about that. But yeah, Deb, our relationship is pretty much, where's your ticket? Don't pay for it. Just put your money away.
Ben, I'm a mom.
It's every single time. You're just like, put your money away.
We
and
need
I'm
to
like,
have bingo cards for next year with all the names of the people who
Just-
never
Well,
bring
what
them
is
to the
it- what is it that
windows.
he's getting?
He's getting fed by the Pomona Kitchen for
Yeah.
being there and doing those
I know,
things
but
and
what's
being-
the Pomona? I mean, do they have
So-
a thing like strawberry shortcake in
No.
Jericho Rotary?
no, it's like
No,
it's
it's
like
Hot dogs, hamburgers,
Grinders.
Italian grinders, meatball grinders.
insanely good meatball grinders.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
god. And Jenna Onik
Yeah.
was like, she was riding by on the Team Orange like trash truck one day and just went, meatballs in a cup. And I was like, what? she was driving, but she just went, get meatballs in a cup. And I was like,
No
okay,
bread.
good. Yeah,
Fine.
and it's fantastic.
Oh,
so
yeah. When you're there all day, meatballs in a cup. You don't
meatballs
eat
in
bread.
a cup is
And
perfect.
Don't
You don't need the
those
bread.
muffins. They're good.
The muffins are really good.
I do have to say though the thing that messed me up the most, 2021 Washington County Fair, I am like psyching myself up, right? Because I did the 2020. I volunteered at the fair when I was a kid. 2020, I do the virtual Washington County Fair, right? I produce it. I film stuff. I edit everything. It's the craziest week of my entire life. And then 2021, the fair committee is like, hey, would you want to come back and host this year? Like, and I'm like, but it's a live, it's the fair, it's the 5 days of chaos. It's not me doing
Right.
and Pete was like, yeah, do whatever you want. Like, just so I was like, I guess I'll vlog the fair, right? Which is what I figured out that I would do. So I was like, I had all of my gear just like this. And I'm sitting there. You mentioned it's like 103 degrees every day.
Always.
And I'm just,
So hot weather.
I'm literally like thinking like I trained for that for like for like how to carry my equipment and film stuff and get all of the interviews that I need to do. And I'm like, only drink water, don't eat a ton of fair food because you need to be like nimble and mobile and whatever, blah, blah, blah. I walk in the door and Jenna's dad, Paul, Paul, sorry, Paul, goes, Ben, first time I've ever met him. He goes, Ben, psst, come here, over to the Ashaway Grange booth. And he's like, we got stuffed waffles, stuffed waffle sandwiches for the first time ever. I need you to eat this. It's 8 a.m. on day one of the fair. It's like 90 degrees already.
And it's ruining your plan.
And he's like,
and they are thick.
It is
So
like
good.
this thick of a waffle, sausage, eggs, and syrup. And he's like, I need you to eat this and then tell all of your viewers how good it is.
And I wondered what we were going to do to fill the last 5 minutes.
and I took, you can see it. It's in the first video from 2021's fair. It's me sitting at a picnic table by myself because the fair isn't even open for another 2 hours. And I eat I eat like the first quarter of the sandwich, and it is so good. And I just looked around after the camera went off. I just looked around. I just threw it in the trash because I couldn't, like, I was like, this is, and it also, like, I'm lactose intolerant and I have a problem with eggs, but I just couldn't say no. And he was like, huge success. Thank you so much for that. And so I do all of what I can for that. But like,
okay, one more time. Southern Rhode Island volunteers, give us the contact info.
Phone number is 401-552-7661. Website is southernrivol.org. And we are in beautiful Ninigret Park in Charlestown, Rhode Island, on the second floor of the Charlestown Senior Community Center.
Yeah, you have a wonderful location. You
We
really
do.
do.
That's beautiful.
And we will be at the Washington County Fair, too.
Yes,
with Ben.
eating all that stuff.
At
How
the
can you
moment,
reason?
401-552-7661.
Yeah, there's something about the Washington County Fair with fried Oreos amidst the smell of goat. It's
the best smell in the world.
I love it.
Thank you, Lindsay, Deb, Jessen. So nice to meet you.
Wonderful to meet you. Thank you for
And
having us.
We will certainly have you again long before 2 years.
Okay,
Thank
we'd
you
love to
very
come back.
much.
Thank
We
you.
are
Thank
going
you.
to take a short break while we switch out. You're listening to Man About Town. This is a production of 321 Media. You are live in downtown Westerly. And here we go.
I've been a member of Westerly Fitness for almost 10 years now.
Love it. It gets me moving in the morning.
Well, I just recently retired, so anybody that's retiring, this is a great way to start your retirement.
I find it easier to do housework, laundry, food shopping, all those everyday things. I've always done something, physically, and I couldn't find a niche in the last couple of years since COVID, and I found my niche.
There is something here for everyone. So come join us in the Moving Silver family here at Westerly Fitness. I promise you won't be disappointed.
Hi, I'm Neil Anthus, owner of Sound Financial Partners. We're a full-service financial planning practice dedicated to optimizing your investment, tax, and cash flow strategies. As fiduciaries, we always keep our advisory clients' best interests in mind when making recommendations. Whether you're preparing for retirement or growing your business, we're here to help you achieve your financial goals. Ready to start your journey to financial success? Visit us at our Westerly office or give us a call at 401-642-4333.
I am Jim Howe. My practice is focused on representing people injured in car accidents, representing people injured in premises liability, represent people in all walks of life. I say all the time that I represent the underdog, and by the underdog I mean the person who is injured and is facing lawyers that are hired by insurance companies. If you unfortunately find yourself injured in an automobile collision or in any other circumstance where insurance may come into play, think of giving me a call.
Join the Knickerbocker All-Stars on Friday, May 23rd at 8 p.m. at the Knickerbocker Music Center. Dance the night away to songs you love and some of the greatest music ever made. Get your tickets now at nickmusic.com.
I'm in love with you, baby. But your mother's got to move.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners at 224 Post Road, and everybody down here is getting the brand new iPhone 16. We have it here in stock. The best part is right now, if you trade in your old phone, you get it for free. We got deals all weekend, awesome savings. Come on down and see us, 224 Post Road, Dunn's Corners, Verizon Wireless Zone. We'll see you soon.
D&V Mechanical specializes in the installation, maintenance, and servicing of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split heat pump systems. We are certified by Mitsubishi as Diamond Elite Contractors and factory trained and up to date on the proper procedure of the installation and service of Mitsubishi ductless heating and air conditioning ductless heat pumps. We assist with the paperwork to reduce much of the stress-related documentation required to get the state rebates and federal tax incentives. We are not a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-nothing company. We are masters of ductless heat pumps. It's what we do, and it's what we know.
And we are back. Welcome into the second hour of Man About Town. We are a production of 321 Media, and we are live streaming all over the world right now. If you have a question or a comment, I never even mentioned this before, but you can go to Facebook, right, Ben?
It's only been 8 months.
Yeah, I know. Shut up. Only been 8 months, but I'm not 38 like you are. So at any rate, couple of things for those who may have missed the first hour and are used to seeing DJ Gadget and our co-producer, Roxy the Radio Dog. DJ Gadget owns a business in Hartford and had an issue up there today and had to stay in Hartford. And where she goes, that's where Roxy the Radio Dog goes. But they will be back next week, unless Roxy is once again with Lester Holt. Okay, so we are now with, this is a program, this whole day has been about volunteerism. And we had the Southern Rhode Island volunteers. Now we have old friends back again, the Village Common of Rhode Island and the Westerly Village. And I was very interested when I caught this on the radio, regular radio, from out of Newport on Sunday morning, listening to a program with the head of the Village Common. And I thought, I want to get all this down so I'll know what I'm saying. Then I said, no, I don't have to do that because I have Sue Ogle. So Sue is and she's been on with us before. You are the liaison. Is that your correct?
You're correct. Community liaison.
And we have Doug Champion, who is a member of the Westerly Village. And first of all, I'd like you to explain what the village concept is, because it's very unique. And there's, if I can remember what I heard Sunday morning, there's 6 of you now, 6 actual villages.
There are 11 of us now.
11?
11.
You know something? That must have been an old program, seriously, because when she mentioned it, she said our newest villages are Gloucester and Burrillville. And I'm thinking, they're not that new. They've been around a while. So they must have been running an old tape on that radio show.
Okay.
There are 11 villages?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
then you must have a list of all of them.
I used to be able to recite them
when there
quickly,
were 6.
right? Or even 4. We were number 4. So the Village Common has been here in Rhode Island for 10 years.
Wow.
And
explain the concept first.
First, the concept, the mission is to help older adults to stay in their homes through a team of volunteers. And we offer technology support, transportation, light household chores, and social and many different varieties of way with social.
Yeah, you got a good bump from the people that were here before. They said we're the same, but we're different.
Correct.
And they said we don't do the social stuff, but the village does a great job having parties and shows and fun, and you just get together and drink and wonder.
I wish, but that's not necessarily.
Wait a minute. What about the summer thing in Warwick at that guy's home?
Oh, okay.
You don't have a little wine and beer at that?
Actually, we don't.
Oh,
at the picnic.
You
No,
gotta
but we
check.
did. We did just have a volunteer recognition event, and we did have prosecco.
Oh, thank God.
It was a toast to our volunteers during
Okay.
April Volunteer Month.
Okay, April drinking month, right? Okay, so where are these villages besides Westerly?
All right, there
because
are-
again, we get all over this state. So.
Right. Well, we are in 13 communities, but 11 villages. So I'll explain that. First of all, there's Aquidneck Island, and that's where we have 3 communities.
That's right. That's Portsmouth, and let's see if Middletown and Newport.
You're right.
Okay.
So that's number 1, and I'm doing this alphabetically. So the second one is Barrington. The third is Bristol/Warren, and that's a brand new one. Burrillville is next. After that is Cumberland, which is brand new. Edgewood, which is part of Cranston.
Right.
Gloucester. Jamestown, which is also brand new. Providence. Warwick, which is also brand new. And Westerly.
Yeah, I was always amazed. I remember when you've been on before that there hadn't been a village in Warwick.
Yes.
You would think with all that
Yes.
population and it's the 3rd largest city in the state, you would think they would have been on a long time ago. Well, I'm glad to know. That's great.
So in the last 2 years, we have increased by 5. So almost a 50% increase.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
I'm going to turn for a moment to Doug because I want to know. Now, you've been a member of the Westerly Village pretty much since the beginning, right?
I actually was on the steering group that
I guess
helped
so.
to form the Westerly Village.
So what drew
I have
you to
been
the concept?
I am both a volunteer and a member. And when I say that is we are an organization of volunteers who provide services to members. I, as a volunteer, I've had a role called ambassador. an ambassador is not only working with Sue in terms of outreach, but also in interviewing people who are interested in becoming members. So it's my job to explain what the Westerly Village is and what it isn't, the services that we can provide and the services that we can't, and then to help the prospective member to understand what that means. And if indeed they wish to become members, then I would help them to apply and become members.
So you're a kind of a facilitator, big brother,
Right.
answer questions.
Exactly. As a volunteer. But I'm also a member because,
So you can talk to both sides.
yes, because I have needs, and so does my wife. Okay? I happen to be 89 years old.
God
my
bless
wife, my wife is a bit younger, and we are both. Just as an example, Rona, I'm a certified technical klutz. I cannot fix.
Join the club, Doug.
I cannot fix anything. Anything that I touch breaks.
Oh, yeah.
And so Stevie, my wife, and I have been members who receive technical services so that we are able to be in the 21st century. We need to be able to use our computers, and we use them very much. I'm writing a book. I need to have that computer. I need to have a TV working. And any time that there's a need for me to be technologically functioning, I make a request for service, and a technical genius comes, and he has over the years now
Is that
helped
Laurie's husband?
Yes.
The technical genius?
to
Yes.
help not only with old equipment, but also when we are installing new equipment to make sure that everything is in sync. Stevie and I also, as members, take part in most, if not all, services that are provided to members, including social events and social opportunities and those connections. As volunteers also, in addition to being an ambassador, we also visit people who want or need to be visited. And I can give you an example, which
So that kind of, you're fighting the isolationism
Exactly.
of living alone.
and
or
I can
being
give you
alone.
I can give you an example of a woman whose husband, they were living in Westerly. Her husband died. She had her wonderful dog, and she was recovering from that trauma. She needed connection. She happened, so she became a member to seek some help. And Stevie and I visited her once a week. She loved to play cards. We loved to play cards, and we play cribbage with her.
How much money did you steal from her?
We didn't. We didn't play for money. We played for donuts and cookies.
Oh, that's pretty
So
cool.
we had a couple. She was now.
She must have so looked forward to it.
We
New friends.
Yes, and she also had this wonderful dog, and we have had dogs, but we don't have dogs anymore.
Huh.
So we benefited from being with
Isn't
her.
that great?
And she benefited from being with us. And then we were able to connect her with other services, like every Wednesday
That's when you go to Dunn's Corners.
When we
and
go to Dunn's
play
Corners
games
too.
and eat cookies and stuff.
Right. And she needed that.
Ah.
She occasionally needed a ride there, or sometimes she could do so by herself.
I don't think I explained that well. This is a church
Yes.
that has donated their
Oh, yeah.
time and or their room so that you go there once a week, and there
We
are all
do.
kinds of board games and fun stuff and just a social kind of
Actually,
thing.
we do more than games. We have a book
Yes.
club that meets there, and
Ooh.
we've just started up a knitting,
Knitting club.
crocheting, needlepoint.
Excellent.
And it was really because our members asked for it, and we said, absolutely.
Sure, if there's a need for it, why not?
So this is the
I'm
Dunn's
not
Corner.
sure that the village needs you anymore. He's a heck of a liaison.
Oh.
I mean, you are excellent. And you can talk about it from every point.
But Sue is also our direct connection with the Village Common of
Oh, I
Rhode
know.
Island.
Because you're
And-
on their board. You're their
and she-
secretary or something.
She is
right?
on the board, so she connects us with them. And also, Sue has been one of our volunteers who essentially started out being the coordinator of the volunteers, and
Did
getting
a good job.
getting volunteers and servicing them, so to speak.
Now, do all of the members get the emails that I get when I get the report? I don't know, it's like maybe once a month, and it tells me what everybody's doing in every village, and there's a picture. And
Yes, that's our
I
newsletter.
love that because
Yeah.
I read that and I'm thinking, for people that are considering membership or just became members, it's letting them know that it's much wider than here.
Definitely.
And that I think it said this in the, I don't know now if it said this in the last report or if I heard it on the radio show. I think I heard it on the radio show on Sunday, but they said every village has its own personality.
Oh,
Even
they
though,
do.
Different
Definitely.
things, they have certain likes and dislikes and activities, but it conforms to the area where the people live.
Yes. And let me just add, there is the newsletter that is electronically sent once a month. But for those that may be listening that are not electronically savvy, we do mail the newsletter to those that are not connected
nice.
to technology. And about 20% of our population, I should say, of our membership here in Westerly, are not electronically savvy. So
20%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is not unusual considering
No,
the
I
age.
actually, I thought it was a little low.
Yeah.
But that's good because you're speaking to them. You're meeting them where they are.
Absolutely.
It's exactly what you're doing.
Right.
And it's all it's very frequently it's being part of. There's a lot of loneliness, and particularly among the aging population. And so we are very attuned to social needs and so providing social opportunities. But we also are very attuned to individual needs that they have. And if I could just have a moment to share an experience that I had, which probably will illustrate that. As an ambassador, I was advised there's a couple here in Westerly that is potentially interested in becoming members. And as an ambassador, then I was assigned to go and visit with them. And I visited with them twice. And on the second follow-up visit, they said, we would like to be members. What are your needs and what have you? And she said, I don't drive very much, and my husband is having some medical issues and what have you. And okay. So she signed up. And I, as an ambassador, felt, I'm your ambassador. I called her 2 days later and I said, how's it going? And she said, Doug, I had a horrible experience last night. my husband in the middle of the night fell, and we had to call an ambulance, and they took him to the hospital. I said, "Have you seen him?" She said, "No, it's not this hospital. It's L&M Hospital in New London." And I said, "Can you get down there? Have you been there?" And she said, "No." I said, "We'll get you a ride." We did, and went down.
For those who are not in our area listening in other parts of the country, New London's about 20 minutes from here.
Oh, it's 45.
45.
It's more like 40, 45.
Yeah.
That is
Not
true.
the way I drive.
Right.
I guess not.
No,
You must fly.
I was going to say, all right, I'll meet you in the middle and say about a half hour, but that's years away from someone who is afraid of driving and nervous and upset
Right.
because of what's happened. So what a wonderful thing you did.
But I couldn't have done that. I could have done that if I were a neighbor next door or knew her, but I couldn't have done that without having a Westerly Village who have volunteers who are providing rides to people for all kinds
Oh,
of
you
reasons.
take people to the airport,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Yes.
more than 20 minutes away.
Yes, it is.
Norwich.
Yeah. Yes.
Certainly, I don't think anyone's gone to New Haven, but certainly L&M and New
Yes.
London.
Yeah.
So
That's what a wonderful thing you did.
well, I think it's a wonderful opportunity to be of service.
So, all right, now you got people interested. They're out there, they're listening, and they're the ones in this area. Obviously, the ones in Ellensburg, Washington, and London, where we have people that call in. No, but they're saying, how do I get involved? I'm not sure I understand. How do I get a visit from an ambassador? How do I get to talk to a Sue Ogle? What's best way?
First of all, we have a wonderful website, which is obviously www.
For all but the 20% of the people who can't use it, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right. It's the Village Common RI.org. Also, if you're interested in either being a volunteer or a member, our local email address, if you're electronically savvy, is westerly@villagecommonri.org. But of course, we have telephone numbers as well. The main office number is 401-228-8683. But the better telephone number to use for finding out about being a member or a volunteer is 401-441-5240. This is also manned by volunteers, and it is they work from 9 until 5, Monday through Friday. And they check it on the weekends just for emergencies. We have
we're going to have you give all that contact information another couple of times before the program ends. When you began by saying to go on the website, which is the villagecommonri.com or .org? .org. We should explain to people that is like the master page. There will be a place on there where they can click on Westerly, correct?
Correct. You go to the menu page and you see the word villages. Click on villages and scroll down and you'll see all 11. And of course, Westerly is the last one. And there are numerous pages, the typical questions and answers, what services we offer. It's very detailed.
But you know what? That's great. And I'm glad you have a good website. And I bet Laurie's husband is the one who built it. That's great. But nothing is as good as the one-on-one. Nothing is as good as going into a home where someone has died and there's a woman who's alone and grieving and needs friends. And I mean, it just makes me very happy. It really does. And obviously it's getting them out. I mean, you said you
Right.
got this woman now. She will go to Duns Corners Church. You got her a ride so
Yes.
she can
Mhm.
socialize.
which she needed.
How many members right now do you have in the Westerly Village?
We have over 70 members and over 60 volunteers.
My God, it's almost one-on-one. Look at
Mhm,
that.
mhm.
And I assume with the volunteers, there's no schedule. There's no, you must do so many hours a week or a month. You call them if they're available, that's fine. And the volunteers tell you what they can do. Like you have volunteers who are good at gardening, volunteers who can get the garbage can to the road and back, volunteers who can drive, and volunteers who are terrible at some of those things. You know what their strengths are.
We do. We do. The only requirement to be a volunteer is nothing, is you can be any age or you can live anywhere. So because we're on the border of Connecticut and Rhode Island, we do have Connecticut volunteers.
That's good to know. I don't think I knew that
Mhm,
before.
we do.
That's very good to know.
It's
I mean,
different.
technically, I turn around. Connecticut's right
That's
down
right.
there. It's a half a
Right.
block down.
Right.
So, yeah, I can understand that. That's an excellent service.
And our volunteers are background checked. Very important.
Yes.
Yes.
So they are vetted.
And there are
Absolutely.
required training as well.
Yes.
The volunteers who drive.
Yes.
What about insurance?
Let me just say there are 2 background checks for drivers. One is a driving background check, and the other is just a regular police check.
That's good.
The insurance is paid through the village common.
Okay.
And my understanding, if there was ever anything that happened, it first defers to your own personal,
Right.
but secondly, it would fall to the village common. And we do carry special insurance for that.
Okay. Yeah, that's important. I mean, people would want to know that. Hopefully, you're not going to have an issue, but it's
Right.
important to know.
Right.
We need to take a break right now. Ben's got to pay a few bills. So we are going to defer to some of our local people in our village who are good and advertise on 321 Media. We will be back shortly. You're listening to Man About Town. We are a production of 321 Media in downtown Westerly. We will be right back with the Westerly Village.
At Dime Bank, we're all about community. It's who we are. Local communities made up of customers, families, and friends. Business owners invested in helping their communities thrive. Dedicated employees committed to giving back in ways that go beyond banking. If your banking relationship leaves you wanting more, come join our community. It's your bank, your choice, your dime.
Are you looking for a fresh cut in Westerly? Step into Rio's Barber Shop in Granite Plaza. Whether it's a classic trim or a trendy new look, we've got you covered. Experience the perfect cut for every age and style in a friendly and relaxed atmosphere. At Rio's, it's not just a haircut, it's an experience. Visit Rio's Barber Shop in the Granite Plaza in Westerly or give us a call to schedule your appointment at 401-315-2208. Your style, our craft, Rio's Barber Shop.
Hi, I'm Chris Kozłowski, owner of Broadview Florist and Garden Center in Duns Corners. For over 40 years, our family-owned business has been your go-to destination for beautiful, custom-made floral arrangements. Whether it's a special event or just to brighten up your day, we create highest quality designs tailored just for you. Trust Broadview Florists to make every moment unforgettable. Visit us today or give us a call at 401-322-0390.
Hi, I'm AJ Trust.
And I'm Jeff Swiderski with AnnieMac Home Mortgage's Momentum Group, your trusted partner in the home buying process.
At AnnieMac, we can strengthen your offer with our innovative program, Cash to Keys, giving you a competitive edge by allowing you to make a cash offer on your new home.
Together, we've helped over 1,000 families move into their dream homes, and we'd love to do the same for you.
Give us a call today at 401-486-0853 to get started.
Ever thought about leveling up your fitness game in a fun and meaningful way? Kiefer's Martial Arts on Granite Street has everything you're looking for. Kickboxing, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and of course, adult karate. It's not just about getting fit, it's about building your self-confidence, discipline, and that unstoppable feeling you get from all your hard work. Stop into Kiefer's Martial Arts today to sign up.
Do you want to get your business in front of over 100,000 viewers every month? Advertise with 321 and enjoy the best value in local advertising while supporting free community live streams. Your message will be seen across live high school sports, morning shows, and local events, connecting you directly with engaged audiences, boosting your visibility, growing your brand, and helping us keep these broadcasts accessible to everyone for free. Partner with 321 today and watch your business thrive. Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners at 224 Post Road, and everybody down here is getting the brand new iPhone 16. We have it here in stock. The best part is, right now, if you trade in your old phone, you get it for free. We got deals all weekend, awesome savings. Come on down and see us, 224 Post Road, Dunn's Corners, Verizon Wireless Zone. We'll see you soon.
D&V Mechanical specializes in the installation, maintenance, and servicing of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split heat pump systems. We are certified by Mitsubishi as Diamond Elite Contractors and factory trained and up to date on the proper procedure of the installation and service of Mitsubishi ductless heating and air conditioning ductless heat pumps. We assist with the paperwork to reduce much of the stress-related documentation required to get the state rebates and federal tax incentives. We are not a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-nothing company. We are masters of ductless heat pumps. It's what we do, and it's what we know.
And we are back here with Man About Town and with the people from the Village Common of Rhode Island, the Westerly Village. Doug just brought up a really good point, but before we get to you, I want to get to Sue for a minute because she is the liaison and it is not just a title. She said, I'd like to talk about what I do as liaison. So you're up, Sue Ogle.
Well, I have a list here, but I will make it
Pages
short.
There. We've only got 24 minutes.
Just in the month of May, I have 5 different presentations.
Okay, what kind of group?
Well, the first one it's called Community Connections. It was sponsored through Westerly Library in Wilcox Park.
Oh, yes, they just had that.
And it was held in the park. and it was all the local nonprofits. It was an opportunity for people to come and meet the different nonprofits and find out about them. So then the next one was actually yesterday. I was at the YMCA, and they had a senior day. So that I was there again with a table representing the village, and again, many other nonprofits.
Did you find, you said you had a table. Did people who came over know what you were, or did they say, what's this all about, or a little bit of both?
I would say majority did not know who we were, even though
Well,
we've been
good.
here 4 years.
That's good, though. That gives you an open avenue.
That's right. That's why I always say yes to when I'm asked to speak. And let's see, here today, that's my third
three.
one. That's
Okay.
3.
We're number 3, Ben.
The fourth one is on Sunday, a really big day here in Westerly.
Oh, yes, Neighbor Day.
Right, but we also have the
Garden Market
Garden
Fair.
Market. And again, Westerly Village will be there, and we're there from 9 until 2 o'clock. And the last one, just for this month, is called Community Conversations. It's going to be at the library on May 22nd. And we are taking a look at, we have a subgroup that's looking at communication and information for older adults in Westerly.
Well, I can tell you, we have the library on. They're our oldest guest. They are on the first Wednesday of the month. They were here last week, every single month. And they have wonderful programs. I knew about the community conversation and what you did last week because of that as well. And they are always looking, because I know they do have a senior technical day, and I can't remember what day that is. I think it's every 2 weeks where people can bring in their devices and people will show them how to use it. But I'm real interested in what Doug was saying during the break about your nearest relatives and why you like the help from the village. I think people can relate to that.
Okay, we chose Westerly to come to because my wife's family was from Providence, her mother, and we needed to take care of her. We've been here for 25 years. We love Westerly. We have 3 children, adult children, and one is in Hawaii, another is in New Mexico, and the third is in mid-state Virginia. If we were not getting this kind of support and involvement here, our 3 children would be burdened with, what do we do? You need to leave there. You need to be closer to us.
To one of
so
us.
that we can, to one of us.
Yeah, because
so
look how
that we,
spread out they are.
Right,
Hawaii,
exactly.
New Mexico, and Virginia.
Right.
It's pretty spread out.
So they know about the Westerly Village. They've known it from the beginning. One of my daughters in rural Virginia was asking, what is this village thing? I would like to get one started here. You know, let me look into this. And I said, here's a website that you can go to nationally where there are villages, and they're part of a nationwide community. And she joined. There was one, and she joined. I think for them, they feel good about us being
peace of
in
mind,
Westerly.
right? That's what it
they
is.
have peace of mind, and we have peace of mind that if there's something that we can't do anymore, and that's increasing, there's help. So Westerly that we love, we're here.
That's a great situation. And I'm sure you're not alone. I'm sure there are people out there who say, this is a great thing. I have children in Florida, in Baltimore, in the Midwest, who do worry about this. And I don't want to move to the Midwest because I don't like it. And I like Westerly. Yeah. I think that's great. So what else do you have coming up?
I have at Babcock Village, which is one of our older adult facilities here. I will be doing a presentation for them at the Pawtucket Neighborhood Center. I'm doing a presentation there. And
Don't you mean Pawcatuck neighborhood?
Pawcatuck, I'm sorry.
Right. Pawtucket's about 45 miles up the road.
I wrote the wrong word down here.
And for people who don't know, when she's saying Pawcatuck Neighborhood Center, that's Connecticut.
Correct.
You could walk to the Pawcatuck Neighborhood Center right from here, but that's Connecticut.
And I've already presented at Christ Church in January.
That's across the street.
And the topic was, it was great, planning for senior life changes. And they had an estate attorney. They had a funeral home owner. And we have a very large cemetery here called Riverbend.
Yes.
They had a
Beautiful
representative
cemetery.
from there. And I was there to give them good news. Because
not about cemeteries.
I
about
could,
living.
I could talk about all of our social activities.
Right.
So it was just great. It was, there were probably 30 people there. Very good turnout.
Oh, that is.
Back
Now,
in January.
That is good then. You mentioned that people had come to you talking about what you do at Duns Corners Church every week. And people had come to you and they had a need for needlepoint, crocheting. They wanted to do that. What else are they asking for? Are they asking for more parties, for films, for games, for...
Actually, what they're asking, and it was interesting, we did a survey this year, that they want some educational programs locally. So we're taking a look at the use of those Wednesdays. That's 1:30 to 3:30 every Wednesday. We have that available. And so we're thinking of doing, like, for an example, having an Alzheimer presentation here in Westerly, not on a Zoom, so that people can see it.
I can give you somebody for that. We can talk afterwards, but I will definitely give you someone very good for that. But yes, that's a good idea. Having a guest speaker on just to learn something. Seniors want to learn just because they're over 60, 65, or I never know what the definition is of a senior. It depends what movie theater, what bowling alley, what restaurant you're talking to. They all have different numbers. But just because you're a senior doesn't mean that your brain isn't active anymore.
Correct.
And you can get some great speakers, I'm sure.
So we're looking at creating a series.
Yeah, and you do a speaker series.
Yep. And have that as an option on the Wednesday, because the fellowship hall that we use is very large. So people can be doing one thing in one corner and somebody else can be doing it in another corner.
And you've got the kitchen there too.
We do.
Yeah, it's quite a nice hall.
So some of the topics could be elder abuse. It could be, like I just talked about at the Christ Church presentation, having an estate attorney and getting your estate all set up before you need to. The worst time to have to do something is when you're in crisis.
Yes.
So it's important to be proactive. And
absolutely.
So we look forward to all of that. And we're constantly asking our members, what would interest them. They love the lunch group. We've tried a coffee group, but it didn't. Nope. Even though
now, how often does a lunch group meet?
Once a month.
Okay. And is it that you go to different restaurants, try different places?
We do. And
it's good for the restaurants and it's good for the eaters.
Yeah.
We do usually have 20 to 25 people.
Wow.
So
Ooh,
not all the
that's good.
restaurants can handle that. So
No.
we have to be selective on where people go.
Now, when you go to these restaurants, do you get, say, 5 tables of 5, or do you get one large table?
Really depends on the restaurant.
Because it's hard to have a conversation if you've got 25 people around the table.
Correct. I mean, we prefer the smaller tables, but sometimes it's more of a you.
Yeah.
So at least you can talk to the person across from you and the people next to you.
Very good.
But for an example, there's a Pops concert coming up here in downtown
there is.
Westerly. So we always have a group of 20 to 30 that we put our blankets down. For those of you that don't know what we do here, we have a very special event.
Yes. It will be June 21st this year.
Yes.
And Westerly has a winter population of about 20 to 22,000 people. In the summer, on weekends, if it's a good beach weekend, you get upwards of 100,000. But this Pops concert in the park gets between 25 and 30,000 people. They come from all over New England, and it's very professional, very wonderful. And this will be year number 43, I believe. Am I right, Ben?
I believe so.
Yeah, 43. They're going to be on with us, as they are every year. They'll be on with us on June 11th. The maestro will be here, Andrew Howell.
Great.
He RSVP'd that he would be on. So, and a couple of other people from the chorus will be on as well.
Nice.
It's amazing. It hasn't been that long since we had you on the air. I think it was the end of last summer, beginning of the fall.
That's about right.
And look what you've done.
Yes.
I mean, your membership is huge now.
So on a state level.
And on a state level, 11 villages.
Right. And we have 500 volunteers and over 600 members.
This is statewide, of course.
Right.
Statewide.
Good Lord.
Right. And we only have 3 paid employees. So it is volunteer driven. And let me just mention, we are a virtual village, because so many people think, when they come up to me at the table, well, where are you located?
Yes.
We are virtual. Because
you've got a little office in Providence, but
correct.
The Westerly Village is Doug and Sue and everybody, and Stevie and everybody else who's sitting around, and our members are volunteers.
Right.
Again, you don't have to be a member to volunteer.
Correct.
And you don't have to live in Westerly to volunteer.
No. But to be a member, the only requirement is to be a Westerly resident.
So you cannot be Ashaway.
Nope.
You have to be right in Westerly.
Yeah.
Well, you got a few more people here you haven't hit yet.
Well, we've decided, that there's enough need here that we don't want to stretch ourselves too much.
Exactly. I think you've done it very well. I'm going back to the comment I heard on the radio on Sunday. And again, now I know that was a rerun that they were playing, because she was talking about, we just got our 5th and 6th villages. So I know. But when the comment was made that every village has its own distinct personality, and how would you characterize Westerly? What makes Westerly special, the village?
I think, first of all, we have a unique community here. Because of the library, the different organizations that are so focused on nonprofit, that's to our advantage. And I think I would defer to Doug from your perspective. What do you see unique about our village?
About the way you probably haven't visited the other villages, or have you?
Because I'm on the state level, I have visited several.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a proper word, but I'll use an improper one.
That's all right.
I think Westerly Village, one of the distinctive characteristics is that we give a damn. about each other. We're open to help each other. We're open to ask for help. Uh, and that varies. We are not one piece of cake. Okay. We have lots of desserts that can be provided. If we have a member who's lonely and loves the beach, we have some members who they call and say, we'd like to have a walk on the beach
Or a drive to the beach.
or
Now,
drive to the beach.
The people who are volunteering for you don't have to be seniors, right? There's no
Correct.
age limit.
Correct.
So they
Correct.
can be 50 or
Oh, yeah.
45 or whatever.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, we have restaurant owners, that in the summer they're not able to volunteer, but in the winter they do.
Sure.
We've actually tried to work with our local high school, but because of their insurance issues, we have not been able to do the intergenerational.
That is too bad.
Yes. Yes.
It really is.
It's
because-
also, Rona, it's a vehicle. It's an opportunity to make friends. We get people who are new to Westerly.
Yes.
They've
That's
moved, they've been
frequently.
active elsewhere,
Yeah.
and they basically, you're going to have a lunch at this restaurant? Or we have a situation, for example, I was an ambassador interviewing a prospective member who showed me she was an artist. And I said, I didn't say it to her at the time, but I said to other people, we have some volunteers who are also artists. And maybe they would like to get a visit so that they can speak to a fellow artist
Right.
and show off
What they do.
what they do. So
Good idea.
those kinds of opportunities are opportunities for both members and volunteers. And for me personally, I would not have it any other way than to be both, because I get the best of both worlds.
How about contact information again?
Absolutely.
As we wind down here.
Our website is villagecommonri.org. Our local email address is westerly@villagecommonri.org. And telephone numbers 401-441-5240 or 401-228-8683.
Sue, if they forget all of that, or they were driving, or they were whatever, and if they just Google Westerly Village or Village Common, information will come up, right?
It will.
Without
Yeah.
having to
Correct.
remember an entire address. or-
Correct.
I love how Doug is nodding, that the technological genius over here who told me, he's
Right.
nodding. Yeah, I know what that is. No, I get a big kick out of it. By the way, for those of you, and I'm going to embarrass you because you're not doing this fast enough. I have, Doug told me probably 3 years back at
Probably so.
least. It was before Chris died. It was in the first place we were.
Right.
He was saying he is writing a book, and it's going to be for your grandchildren, children,
Right.
and he's writing it, and he's still writing it. So
Still writing
if you see Doug anywhere, you get on him and tell him.
Thank you, Rona. You are a man about town.
No time like
good
the
one.
present, though.
Huh?
Truly, there is no time like
I
the
know.
present, and one never knows. Next week, it's going to be movies and mental health. Our movie guy, it's the third Wednesday of the month, and he's here every third Wednesday of the month. Bill Doherty from the Mystic Luxury Cinemas, the all South County cinemas, Madison, Connecticut cinemas, Westbrook Cinemas. He will be here as well, letting us know what's new, what's upcoming, what old movies they're bringing back for special nights. It always amazes me when he comes in and he'll mention some movie that maybe I saw in high school or something, and he'll say, well, it's the 45th anniversary for this movie. And he has a way of making us feel old, but he's great, and he has so many good stories. And the mental health part is Wood River Health will be here next week. We're going to have the boss, Allison Croak, will be here along with Christine, who is the head of behavioral health, because May is Mental Health Month, which is always a sore point with me. I think every month should be Mental Health Month. It's like one of my publishers said to me, isn't there some veterans something or other in May? I said, yes, it's called Memorial Day. Yeah, there's one of those in the fall too. Yes, it's called Veterans Day. Well, you ask anybody who ever served, Veterans Day should be every day and every month. So I understand that they like to name months for certain things and highlight it. Mental health is a giant problem, and it's okay to be not okay. I think Michelle Obama coined that. So next week it will be movies and mental health. Again, Sue Ogle, thank you. It always goes so fast when you're here. Doug, the champion, say hi to Stevie for me, and to all those other people. You bring a lot to the table. You really do, because you can talk from so many angles. Ben, thank you for being producer.
Oh, of course.
You're
Thank
not
you,
as
Rona.
cute as Roxy the radio dog. But
That's true. That's true. But I am cuter than DJ, which is what's important.
Oh, she won't like that. If she's listening, she's not gonna like that.
Listen, what I wanted to say is May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and tomorrow is the Mental Health Action Day. This has been something that's been going on for about 5 years now. Mental Health Action Day is a nationwide event, and every single year I am fortunate enough to produce, along with the Rhode Island Office of Veterans Affairs, the Mental Health Action Day program. That will be live tomorrow at noon. You can watch it on 321. You can watch it on the office. We'll have the governor there. We'll have a bunch of places from RI Rhode Island DOH, 911, 988, The Point. So it's always an incredibly moving thing. I've cried literally every year during it, and that's going to be fantastic. So
thank you for doing that.
Well, I mean, I get paid to do it, but you know, they put it together, and it's fantastic, and it's an honor to produce. So, yeah, so it's Mental Health Awareness Month, and tomorrow is the National Mental Health Action Day. So,
thank you. Thanks everyone who listens to us, watches us, and again, if you are in Westerly and you know Betty Cugini, give her a call and say happy birthday, happy 95th birthday today. Be well, everyone. And as I always say, take a chance, take a risk. You will never know what might happen. Just please don't do it on the highway. We'll see you next week.